Congratulations. You have given Donald Trump the White House, both branches of Congress, and the Supreme Court backing every executive order with full immunity, proving that Donald Trump is going to be the most powerful human being ever. And he's been filling his administration. And oh boy, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy were announced Tuesday that they would be leading the new Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. And it's completely bullshit. It's not really real. It's really fake. It's fakely real. It's a private, non-governmental commission that advises government spending. And if you thought lobbying was shady, my God, do I have a bridge to sell you, because big tech CEO entrepreneurs advising how the federal government spends either taxes they loophole around or treasury bonds that drive up inflation. Holy fucking shit. People, do me a favor and Google the definition of the word corruption. The only reason that it's not an official government commission is because Elon Musk is the biggest private contractor for the United States. It sounds like a pretty big conflict of interest to me. Great job, you guys. You're unknowingly supporting fascism here. Let's check the list. Divisive populist nationalism, authoritarian rhetoric, cult of personality, attacks on democratic norms, the use of scapegoating, and militarized rhetoric and law and order focus. Yeah, thank you. And I am willing to give conservatives the benefit of the doubt for supporting him, that you have to look at this from one perspective. It's the correct perspective, but during his first term, he did not fully align with the traditional definition of fascism. He did continue operations of democratic institutions and political opposition. However, if he does what he says that he's going to do with his own mouth on this campaign, literally in the last 3 months, Jesus, I'm a little worried, because this week Donald Trump picked former Kansas Governor Mike Huckabee as the United States ambassador to Israel, which Huckabee is a evangelical Christian and aligns with Christian Zionism. He has advocated against a two-state solution and has supported U.S. policy changes favoring Israel. Every time I read or watch something on Israel, I pull up my map, because looking at it from God's view, I instantly become pretty sympathetic for their sovereignty. I don't know if you've ever played Agario, but this ain't a winning position. And with me seeing ads like this on the platform I'm trying to monetize my work on, I am completely fine holding my opinions on things I see in the news that I don't really like genocide, because I don't have enough information on the complex history of the Middle East. However, I do have eyes and access to the internet, and Huckabee has been bragging about setting the stage for, let me see here. Oh yes, Armageddon.
New book. I've got it right here in my hands. It's called What Happens Next. It's about the end times. And quite frankly, some of us think we may just be living in them. So, Max Lucado, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us, and welcome as we talk about the end of the world.
Well, Governor, I wouldn't be anywhere else. I'm supremely honored to have these moments with you. And yes, I do believe we're not just in the end times, we're in the end of the end times. It's moving fast.
Max, when you say that, it scares a lot of people. They think, oh no, the end of the world, that's just terrible. Your whole book is focused on quite a different perspective about the end times. You say in this book, it's not something that we ought to be afraid of. It's something we ought to embrace and look forward to. So how does a person look forward to the end of the world?
I am so excited about the end of the world. I really am. Every time I read more passages about what God has in store.
Wow, what a way to cheerlead that literal narrative that Revelations is trying to warn us about. The book of Revelations is up for interpretation for anybody humble enough to sit through and read that nonsense. However, I think when John was writing this, I believe he left a blueprint on how to avoid falling into an authoritarian fascist regime. Because, let's be real here, Jesus was a socialist, no? What about his concern for the poor and marginalized, his condemnation on wealth accumulation, redistribution, and sharing of wealth, early Christian communal living, critique of exploitative systems, promotion of equality and brotherhood, service to others over power, and forgiveness of debts? includes student loans, Supreme Court. I would never be dumb enough to make such idiotic claims of who I think the Antichrist is, okay? But I will point out similarities between Trump and a fascist, and between fascism and the Antichrist. And look at all these foreheads. Yikes. So, Mr. Donald J. Trump, when you wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror, just ask yourself, what would Jon Stewart do?